welcome to Blue Jays Today, where today, guys, we are kicking off the weekend with the Wine on Wine, folks. There is going to be some incredible baseball going on around the league. Twitter is talking about it. Analysts are talking about it. Sportsnet is talking about it. Blue Jays have a big freaking series that all starts tonight, guys, and we have got to break it down and more. I'm your host, Nicholas Blaylock.
And I'm your host, Adam Peddle. And today, guys, that's right. This is probably one of the biggest series that the Toronto Blue Jays have played and the biggest series that the Tampa Bay Rays have played in. So I think most people who are MLB fans are looking at this series seeing, can the Tampa Bay Rays set the record for the longest win streak to start a season? And can the Blue Jays, one of the better teams they face, can they derail it? And with a really shitty pitching matchup for the Blue Jays, really favoring the Tampa Bay Rays. We're going to get all into that and more later on. I'm your host, Adam Peddle.
Yeah, guys. So if you didn't already know, Tampa Bay has tied the longest winning record for a team to start the season ever. 13 games winning is a lot. Both other squads lost in their 14th game. So if Tampa Bay was to win tonight on the road in the Rogers Center, they have now literally made history and will own that title for as long as that record remains intact. And they're up against Jose Berrios. Jose Berrios is going to be taking the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays.
I got faith, baby. I don't know why I got this big D energy today. I was all over Twitter. Everyone was kind of tweeting about it, about how much that this is going to mean for Jose Berrios when he's the one who derails the Tampa Bay Rays. Think about this story. He's the one who defeats the Rays. It's all on him. He goes 7 scoreless innings, and the Blue Jays win 3-0 because he carries the team on his back.
Yeah.
That would be incredible.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that would be incredible.
Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I don't think so, man. You know what? I just, there's no way that I can lie to myself about this, folks. I made a video literally last night. I put it together and I posted it today, and it's all about Tampa Bay being incredible. And the comparison that really stuck out to me, and this is what's nuts, guys. When you look at their team statistics, they are currently rolling with a 940 team OPS. 940. Yeah, can we see that? 940 team OPS. Almost 100 OPS points better.
They're facing crap teams, Nick. They're facing crap teams.
I understand
with
that.
Crap pitching.
The 940 OPS mark is 1 point higher than Josh Donaldson's MVP year.
It's only been 10, 11, 13 games. Only been 13 games, Nick.
I understand that. I understand it's only been 13 games, but that means that in this 14th game, we are effectively up against 9 Josh Donaldsons in a row.
No, we're not.
That's
They're not going to hit that against us.
That's what the
They're
stats
not going to hit that against us. No, we're going to dominate them. We're going to dominate them.
Look, maybe we do go on and dominate them, but you can't deny that that's literally what it is right now. If we're going to dominate them, we need to be so much better than what we've been up until this point, because that's how good they're being.
Yeah, I mean, our pitching hasn't been that good. We're ranked 20th right now in the MLB at a 4.70 ERA. The teams that they faced, they had Washington Nationals 4.94. They had the Red Sox 4.42. And then it was the Tigers, 6.24. So we're the best pitching team they faced in a while. Not much better. So their offense, all jokes aside, they should be a challenge for us this weekend. But the hitting is where we are so much far above all the teams that they face. We are the best hitting team.
Here's the one thing about that comparison. I hear what you're saying, but because it's so early on in the season, you could argue, and I do agree that these teams are going to be bad. I do think they're going to be bad.
Yes.
But you could argue that their stats are so bad right now because they played the Tampa Bay Rays and because they can't hit on the Tampa Bay Rays, and because the Tampa Bay Rays, because they can't pitch on the Tampa Bay Rays either because their offense is so good.
I mean, the exact same argument could be used against the Tampa Bay Rays. I mean, the reason why they're so good is because they're facing pitching staffs who are really, really bad. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. So, at the end of the day, what I look at, I'm never going to take anything away from these Tampa Bay Rays. They're off to a credible start, off to a historic start. But, I'm just saying, this is just a hot streak. And the reason why we're all looking at it right now is because it's the beginning of the season, and we're really, shout out to whoever just subscribed. Thank you so much. But, things can change. Things can change come September because we'll start to learn more about these teams and what their true characters are. Maybe they're not a 940 team. Maybe they're actually an 800.
Well, I absolutely don't think that they're a 940 OPS team, because if they were, like, they are going 162-0. You know, if these statistics, what they have right now on offense and on pitching, they're so far in the lead on both categories. You go 162-0 if these are your season-long stats. Right. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. They are going to level out eventually. But either way, that really doesn't matter, because what they are in August, that's going to be different from what they are right now. We have to play them right now. You know, so we are playing against them when they are super hot, when they're in their hot streak. I find it difficult to believe that Jose Berrios, based on what he has been accomplishing or lack thereof in the, you know, maybe last year and a half, is going to be able to dethrone them off of this hot streak. I want it to happen. I hope that it can. But I think if there's any way that we are going to win this thing, I have a lot more faith in our offense than in Jose Berrios.
I think it's going to be a slugging fest because, at least I hope it is if we're going to have a chance. I hope it is. Because we got Jose Berrios, who's definitely going to give up a slugging fest when you look at what he's been doing and what their Tampa Bay Rays offense is doing. But the Blue Jays got a big challenge on the mound. They're going up against Drew Rasmussen, who's been absolutely nothing but dominant. His last 2 starts, 7 innings, 6 innings, no earned runs, only 3 hits in 13 innings, 15 strikeouts, 0 free passes. Yeah. So you got to hit your way on to beat him. He's not going to give up any easy ones.
And I'll tell you what, man, can we look at his standard stats really quickly? Scroll down. Yeah, look at, last year, criminally underrated.
Oh yeah,
criminally underrated. 2.84 ERA, right? It's like we look at Tampa Bay Rays, and everyone was talking about McClanahan. You know, it's McClanahan this, McClanahan that. McClanahan's phenomenal, but you got this guy out here.
You know why?
Just going crazy.
Well, you know why? I mean, like 28 starts, 146 innings. Like he was kind of overshadowed, and then you look the year before, and it's like he was more used as like a starting, opener kind of role, with the, with his, where was he? 20 games, 59 innings pitched. So yeah, literally like he'd go through the lineup once or twice.
Yeah,
and
only 10 games started, it looks like, too. So I mean, he wasn't even a starter there.
No, 20 games started.
20 games played.
Started.
10 games started.
But that's what they used to do in 2021, where they would have people come in like, okay, after you're done the first time through the lineup, then we're going to bring in Drew Rasmussen for the next little bit.
Exactly.
So, but now, it looks like he's been a traditional starter, and he's popping off, and he's really breaking out. He is a full
starter. He is thriving in that role, man. I am concerned that we are going to have a hard time hitting him, and that's what's going to need to happen if we're going to win this game. Because, again, if I had to choose between who do I trust more, Guerrero, Bichette, Springer, Chapman, all these guys, or Jose Berrios, obviously my faith on who is going to carry the team in crunch time is going to go to these guys. So that means that we're going to need to hit their pitching. Yeah. We're going to need to hit their pitching.
Let's talk about those guys, shall we? We got the starting lineup over here, folks. I'm going to move this over so that you guys can see
Also,
names.
Shout out to the 47 people watching right now. If you haven't already done so, please hit the like and subscribe button, guys. Let's see if we can bump this thing up to 25 likes on the stream. That'd be amazing. Also, major apologies to everybody who stopped in on the initial stream that we were doing. It was live for like literally a minute and a half or something. We've been having some technical difficulties, but the boys are figuring it out. We appreciate your patience.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So leading off, we've got George Springer as always. This is all no surprise to us right here.
Yep.
Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in the 3 spot. Dalton Varsho, he gets bumped up to the 4 spot to get that lefty little mix up. And you got Matt Chapman, who thank God he's back in the lineup.
Yeah.
You really did notice an overall energy difference when Matt Chapman was not in the lineup last night.
Well, somebody commented when we were live last night, and they said, hey, if Matt Chapman played tonight, we win this game. And, it's impossible to say yes or no to that. But when you think about all the people that were left on and all the situations that he would have been in when there's a guy on first, guy on second, you're like, damn, like, an extra base knock would have went a long way, and I know that he would have given it to us, so it's possible.
And then you got Brandon Belt leading up behind him, and I want to talk about him in a second, because then you got Espinal, Danny Jansen, who this combo right here has been very cold.
Very cold.
Kiermaier, different story, as we know, very hot. He's facing his former team. That'll be an exciting story, but Brandon Belt, he's in the lineup. He had a good series against the Detroit Tigers, but he's back in the lineup, and not Kirk. Because this is the situation. Danny is going to be catching Jose Berrios. So now, if you're going to put Belt in the lineup, you got to sit Kirk.
Yeah.
Which is really unfortunate.
It is really unfortunate, man, especially because, I haven't been liking... I'm not saying that Kirk has been incredible so far, because he hasn't been. He really hasn't been, but it's been a bit of a slower start for him, too. But I just feel like Brandon Belt, even though he got a few knocks in the last series, still looks overmatched to me. He still isn't locked in at the plate or at the dish. Maybe it's just a more playing time thing. Maybe it's that. Maybe that's all that matters.
I don't know. I feel like he actually started to turn it around. Actually looking at his ABs in the last series, it started to look pretty good. He hasn't struck out. That's the big thing.
That's true.
I don't know what it was. It felt like there was a switch as soon as he got to the Rogers Center, and he was hitting balls the other way. He was hitting fastballs, pulling the changeups the other way. It was pretty good hitting. So
hopefully in that regard he can continue off of that, because it's very clear that when looking at the stats so far this season, 1 through 5 on the Blue Jays, pretty solid. I mean, Springer's off to a bit of a slower start, but even still, the batting average is still there. Pretty solid. And then a very dry hole of Belt, Espinal, Danny Jansen. All of those guys, their stats, I don't think any one of them's hitting even close to 200 right now. And then you got Kevin Kiermaier rounding it in the 9th spot. So if we can get Belt, Espinal, and Jansen, if one of those guys can get going or can come up, be clutch, that's going to go a long way, I think, in creating some more runs.
Yeah, I mean, Espinal's 0.80 average. That's not what you want to see.
No.
And you got Cam Biggio 160 and Merrifield. Merrifield's the best of all this quote-unquote second baseman. Merrifield's literally a left fielder here because he's playing so much outfield.
Yeah.
But he's batting 250. He's on the lineup.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see. And I mean, Danny Jansen batting 0.45 right now.
Yeah,
and again,
that's
guys, that's in 7 games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally in 7 games. So the guy's barely even had he's got 1 hit in 7 games.
Yeah.
Which is actually pretty bad.
He's
pretty bad. Yeah.
He's lost. Well, Espinal's lost, saying Michael.
Yes.
I mean, they're all kind of lost.
They're all
right
kind of lost right now, man. So
it's such polar opposites, man. You got the red hot top and then the Lost Boys at the bottom.
I mean, credit to these guys. I mean, it's difficult to find yourself with 31 ABs and 22 ABs and 25 ABs, right? Whereas Guerrero's got 56 and these other guys, are pushing 60. So it's a lot easier to kind of find your rhythm when you're gonna be there every single day, even if you strike out. And this is the difference too, and this is the mental game, and this is tough, and this is what people don't talk about. But Bo Bichette knows that if Bo Bichette strikes out every single time of the game, he's still gonna bat second tomorrow.
Yep.
He's still gonna be there, even if he makes all the errors. He's still gonna be there. Espinal, Danny Jansen, Brandon Belt, if they strike out all the times, they're benched.
Dude,
they're playing for something else.
Belt went 3 for 3 on the first game on the home opener on Tuesday. He was benched yesterday or the next day. So he
doesn't even know what he can do.
Exactly. You don't have a role. Your role now, and I mean maybe that's where you got to find some solitude. Where it's my role is I am comfortable just being the bench guy. I'm on and I'm off every day.
You gotta be comfortable with that, and you gotta just say hey man, whatever I do today, it's fine. I don't control where I'm gonna be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine that's gotta be a big mental toll. Being shit, there's a runner in scoring position. I don't get him.
Yeah.
I'm, my job's on the line, right?
I know. And you almost want to come up clutch every time because you want to be an everyday guy.
Yes.
No one wants to be a bench guy. You want to be an everyday guy. So it's you feel like you have to come up in every opportunity. Yeah. So it is tough.
It is tough. It is tough. So, I mean, again, I feel for those boys, but at the end of the day, we do need you to do better than what you've been doing.
Gotta adjust, man.
And this series is the series to do it, because when you look at this Tampa Bay Rays lineup, you got it right here.
So good.
There is depth upon depth upon depth, man. Look at all of these guys. Look at these OPSs.
Well, here, let's before we dive in, let's get an idea of what we're gonna face throughout the lineup right here.
All right.
For whatever reason, Tampa Bay Rays Twitter doesn't have the graphics card, so I had to go to this one right here.
Bro, why is this team so poverty?
I know.
What the hell?
Let me just move this over here.
I hate them.
It doesn't make any sense. But you've got Yandy Diaz leading off, and then you've got over here Brandon Lau is off to hot start, as we know. Randy Arozarena, Wander Franco, Luke Raley is going to be in left field today. Isaac Paredes, Manuel Margot, Josh Lowe, and Christian Bethencourt. So if we look at this lineup here, folks, we're going to go. These stats. Wander Franco's off to quite the start. Same with Lowe. That whole like 1, 2, 3, 4 is amazing.
Let me fill you guys. Let me fill you guys in right now. So I own Brandon Lowe in fantasy, and in the first 5 games, he was awful. He was horrible, and then he got benched 2 games.
Yeah.
And I was this close because I got other guys that can play second base. I was this close to dropping him at that point. I was like, wow, like he's getting benched already. They're not playing. He's suck. He's striking out a bunch. He's getting benched. He's not even part of their plans. And then he came back, and he's literally hit a home run in every single goddamn game since he's come back.
Dude, I remember I drafted Yandy Diaz with my very last pick in fantasy, so I did drop him initially. I dropped him. I was like, oh, screw this guy. Like I always loved him. I talked about all offseason how much I love Yandy Diaz, and I'm like, oh, like forget this guy. He's like one game. I wanted the pitcher to start. And then I noticed on the free agency, it's like he is doing really well. Like he's got 4 homers. You know, he's got 11 hits. He's got almost 1,000 OPS. So I picked him right back up. And what happened? He hit a homer.
And Diaz is leading off. Is that right?
He's leading off in front of all these guys.
So Diaz leading off right there. He's getting on base at a clip of 388 right now.
That's
and then
crazy.
you're following that up with Brandon Lowe, who's hitting 333 with 5 home runs and an OPS that is just God tier.
Yeah.
It's Wander Franco after that?
Yeah.
Wander Franco, who is he's now in his...
It's, where was it? Who is it? Randy.
Randy.
It's Randy.
Okay, well, I mean, like, as if it matters, you know? Like,
yeah.
Randy Arozarena batting 314. Then you got Wander Franco, who is right now... Wander Franco's having his 2020... Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Exactly.
Or 2021 Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Exactly.
That's what he's having right now. This is his, hey, everybody, I was a #1 ranked prospect. It took me a few years to find it, but this is what all the hype was about. So he's doing that. Damn. And then you got all these other guys, like Luke Raley? What?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah, I know.
Who are you?
And then after that kind of falls off, but like that's their big chunk.
Dude, we didn't even talk about Josh Lowe or Harold Ramirez.
Oh crap, Josh Lowe or Harold Ramirez.
Isaiah Paredes.
Oh, whoops.
You know, like it's ridiculous, man. It's insanity.
Oh my God.
It's insanity.
Well, I hope they cool down with the help of our Blue Jays team. I don't know. It's gonna be tough, man. I'm gonna watch this game. We're not going live for it, folks, but like I'm gonna sit and watch, and I really look. It's all numbers right here, but I want to watch how are these Rays? Yeah, how these Rays attacking these pitchers, and how are we gonna attack these Rays? Like, are we gonna be walking, giving them a lot of free passes?
Well, again, the problem is, and this is the big issue, right? Is the person attacking them is Jose Berrios. So I mean, we might come in with a game plan. Is it gonna be executed? I don't know.
Let's talk about it. Let's remind ourselves of what Jose Berrios has to do. This is exactly what you need to know, what the title's saying before you watch this game. Jose Berrios, and I've said this so many times between his last start and today, he needs to throw that slurve for a strike. I don't care. There's literally nothing else is working. You have to change the way you pitch. I need to see that slurve going over for 0-1, 0-2 counts, getting ahead of batters, because if you're trying to get ahead with the fastball, guess what? Guess who's the best team in baseball on first pitch OPS? Take a guess.
Yeah,
it's the Tampa Bay Rays. The best. I don't know where I saw it. It was on Twitter. Don't have it here, but they're the best team in the MLB right now on first pitch fastballs, hitting them. Throw the freaking slurve.
Yeah, because they're catch them off.
Their game plan's gonna be hit the fastball.
And the thing with Berrios, and this is what he's got to realize, and I think even Toronto, pitching coaches and just coaches in general need to realize, is that there's nothing to lose at this point. We hit rock bottom. Exactly. I saw somebody comment on one of our videos today. They said, I think it was the video that I posted, and they referenced Berrios as in they're up against the worst pitcher in the AL.
Yeah, he is.
And I was like,
he's the worst pitcher in the AL.
Like, this is the worst guy.
Yeah.
This is the worst guy.
He's Corbin or Patrick Corbin.
Yeah, like literally of the American League.
Yeah.
Like no one would want him on their team. No one would want this contract. If you had any other option, you would start literally any other starter in the American League.
If he had a 1-year deal, like he's cut.
He's cut.
Yeah.
So we're already at rock bottom. We hit it like many starts ago.
Yeah.
Try something different. I don't even, I agree with what you're coming out with. My criteria of like what I need to see from Jose Berrios is just do anything different. I actually don't give a fuck. Just try, just throw the whole kitchen sink at them, man. Like, clearly, I need to see that you're trying to adjust.
Yeah,
I need to see that you're trying to adjust right now.
And like, here's the thing. I listened to Buck Martinez talk about this. His last adjustment was they want to start using that two-seamer to go in and clip the inside part of the plate for a strike.
I like that.
Or not two-seamer, sinker. But guess what? Guess who hit a crap load of sinkers cutting inside? The Kansas City Royals absolutely murked this guy's sinker in on the hands. Perfectly placed. Because why? They were waiting for it.
Yeah.
I don't care if you tell any hitter in the major leagues, this pitch will be right here. Okay, all I gotta do is wait for that pitch. It will come. Just wait for it.
That was literally the cheating scandal for the Astros.
Exactly.
Like, that's like what it was. You know?
And like the difference between his slurve and his sinker, and like that's what I'm wondering is like, is there an obvious like read from out of the hand of like his arm slot a tipping pitches situation where like, oh, okay, this slurve's coming. I'm gonna just wait.
That's what people have been speculating on for, I mean, 8 months, 10 months now. Is the fact that. Because again, and I talked about that. I think I made a short about this actually from our last Blue Jays Today show, and I said when you say Kikuchi's bad, when he's bad, you can see that these pitches are not competitive. They're outside of the zone. He's walking people, and then it's like when they're in the zone, it's like middle, like okay, we're getting crunched, because he's trying to correct himself, so he goes middle, and then they annihilate him. Yeah. But with Berrios, it's ridiculous because you watch him. And he does, for the most part, in my opinion, put it where he wants to put it. I mean, look at that, right?
Look at the sinker in on the hands.
Yeah.
That's where you want
it. It's right there. I mean, I
guess...
It's
a little bit high, in my opinion. I think it needs to be a little lower.
It's definitely a bit high, but still, I mean, when you look at the Heat, man, look at the changeup.
That's exactly where you want it.
That's perfect, right? The slurve, I mean, like, we're hitting our...
I know you're hitting that down there. That's ideal, but like, honestly, you just start fucking like throwing it in.
It's like this doesn't look bad to me when I look at these things. This doesn't look bad to me. When I look at the starts, I'm like, okay, well, that's what I would have wanted anyone else to pitch, Like, if we asked Kevin Gausman to make that pitch, it wouldn't have been hit.
Okay, here's something here in the early going. I mean, the fastball sucked. It had the highest batting average last year at 349. It's still got the highest fastball, or a batting average of 462.
It doesn't. The changeup's got 500.
Oh, the changeup. Okay, small sample size.
Don't forget the sinker. It's got 400 on that.
Oh, it's competitive. But look, okay, let me finish this thought here. But look where it is.
Yeah,
it's pretty fucking middle.
I get that, but I mean, like, you're gonna try to pound him with the fastball. And he's only throwing the fastball 23.8% of the time.
That's still again, if I have 4 pitches and one's gonna be right there, I'm waiting.
But the thing is, it's not just that though, because he's still getting hit 500% of the time with the changeup. And 400% of the time with the sinker.
I know, so that's why he's only getting hit in 143 with the slurve.
But he throws it out the zone.
So I know exactly. So that's why if I'm a batter and I look at him, I'm going, oh shoot, why swing at this one that no one's having success on when I can wait for this one? Ooh, maybe I want to pull this one over the fence. I want to hit this one the other way. Start throwing this for strikes. And that's how you get them. That's how you get them.
You got to try, right? You got to try. Again, you have to try anything at this point. That's our breakdown on Jose Berrios. Like, it's been absolutely horrendous from a dude to start this season off. Again, like, I've been so in Jose Berrios' camp. I mean, I remember last year we walked into the season I literally I was talking about him as I thought he was gonna have a Cy Young year.
Me too.
Right? We both
top 5. I thought.
Yeah, we were saying like this is gonna be his year where he really breaks out. He's gonna be 28 years old. Got Pete Walker. He's locked in now, and it all fell apart. So I want the best for him. I really want him to bounce back. I find it difficult to believe that it's going to be against the Tampa Bay Rays tonight.
It's going to be tough. But, guys, make sure you guys watch that game. But I also want to do a little transition here.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda saying Ricky Tiedemann can't come, soon enough.
Great transition. Great transition. Our buddy Dylan, Shout out to Dylan Prue right now. I don't know where he's at, but if you're following us on TikTok, which you guys should be doing because I am making a pledge of allegiance to myself that we're posting on that site a lot more. And we got Dylan working on that too. He posted a TikTok talking about Ricky Tiedeman's last start, where he was phenomenal, man. He was getting the punchies, as Alec Manoah likes to say. I don't actually know how the start ended, but I know that in 3 innings, he got 9 Ks.
That was it.
That
was it.
Pretty good.
Yeah, like he was rehabbing. Obviously, he had a little injury, so he's got to be worked up to speed. But you can also see some more details here. His fastball's up to 99 miles per hour with 13 swinging strikes on 49 pitches. So, yeah, and all 9 outs coming by the strikeout. So, I heard last night Buck Martinez say that Ricky Tiedemann could be coming up to the major leagues very soon. He would not be surprised at all if it was this season.
That looks like a little Garrett Cole.
So, let me ask you, okay, where do we put Ricky this year? Because we do have Jose Berrios. If Kikuchi's bad, I think it's pretty obvious we put Ricky in a starting role. Whereas Jose Berrios is really tough. Do we move in bullpen? But where do you see Ricky T going to help out this Blue Jay squad this season?
It is 100% about Jose Berrios, in my opinion, and it's more about how you manage him, and it's less about Ricky Tiedemann. Ricky Tiedemann will fill in the gaps because right now, even though he's an awesome top tier prospect, we're all excited about him. You're paying him what? $500,000, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, you are the Band-Aid. What we really need to focus on is getting the value from the guy that we committed over 100 to.
I know.
You know, so it's like, how do we best suit that guy? Does that guy go to the bullpen? Does that guy go to the minors?
Man. I don't know.
Does that, you know, so it's whatever he does, whatever they decide that is best for Jose Berrios in finding once again what he was good at. Ricky Tiedemann will fill in the gaps.
Here's the thing, I just don't think you can move Jose Berrios for the exact same reason you're talking about. Like, you have to fix him. You have 5 more years of Jose Berrios. You have after the season. This is year number 2 of 7. So you have to find a solution for Jose Berrios. You can't just bring up Ricky T and replace a $100+ million man.
No.
But you can come up and replace Yusei Kikuchi. That one's easier.
But here's what I'm saying. Jose Berrios, if you send him down to the minors, it's not a permanent thing. This is like, we're gonna send you down for a little while. You're gonna figure it out there, because we can't have you losing games up here for us right now. You're gonna figure it out. We're gonna bring you up later in the season. We're gonna bring you up later. I don't know what the options are.
Yeah.
We have to look into that. If he goes to the bullpen, same idea. You got to figure it out right now. We have to take you out. At the end of the day,
you got to limit your innings.
Exactly. At the end of the day, as much as we want you to work out, we are a playoff team, and we can't have you doing what you're doing right now. So we need you to work out. We're invested in you. He's going to start again, but we need you to figure it out.
Question: do we put Ricky totally off? I agree with you. I agree with you on the whole Jose Berrios. Do we put Ricky T in the bullpen?
It's possible.
Because if it's a logjam, we put him in the bullpen. We do a little Aaron Sanchez situation where he came up in 2015 and like we didn't have room for him in that rotation, so we just had a flamethrower out of the pen. I mean, I wouldn't mind, especially if like he's got to still work up his like innings a little bit, ease him into the major league level. That's not a bad idea.
I don't hate it because you brought up a great point yesterday. We were just talking off camera actually, and Adam brought up the fact that Blue Jays don't have left-handed relievers, right? That's not something that we got. Tim Meza, and then who else? Nobody, right? So having somebody in the pen that is also left-handed, that throws gas, that can get strikeouts, that's very intriguing to me. Once again, as far as I'm concerned, the whole starter conversation, though, is the most important. When we're entering if we were entering trade deadline right now, today, if we were entering trade deadline, I'd say by far and away, number one thing that we need to acquire a starter.
Yeah,
you know,
just a Band-Aid, like a now Band-Aid. That could be good.
Cherry on top, it would be nice. We don't need it. Cherry on top would be nice. Is the left-handed reliever that can get the strikeout, that can come in when we need them. That'd be really nice.
Probably, because I do expect by like June, Mesa's going to be worked. He's going to be, you know, like there's going to be matchups. Excuse me, I'm burping. But there's going to be matchups with like when Tim Mesa comes in, it's like actually he's not good here. You know, like his stuff does not play well with against these guys, but he's a lefty, you know, so we have to bring him in. And I hate that. I hate that he's the only option. Like, I want another option.
I would love another option too, man. I also need another pitcher, though. Like, starting pitcher. We just, you know, right now, again, like, it's all fucking overblown because we're 3 starts in. But, you know, Manoah's off to a rough start. And let's just walk down the rabbit hole. Maybe this is the year that he throws up a 4. You know? Maybe. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I do think he's going to bounce back. I feel like he'll find it. But sports are sports. You're
gonna
do it. People have bad years. This happens. So maybe that's the year that he does that, right? Berrios, God only knows. Kikuchi, God only knows, right? We cannot rely on 2 starting pitchers. We've been trying that for decades, and it won't work. We need another guy.
We always need pitching. I feel like that's the common story of, like, the Toronto Blue Jays. We always need more
Fire
pitching.
Pete Walker.
I'm honestly, like, ready to go.
Off it. I am off it.
I'm kind of tired. I don't know you personally, Pete. There's nothing against you, my guy. I just don't see where are the results.
So,
where are the results?
Yeah, here's the thing. You put it perfectly right there. You said, this is always the story of the Toronto Blue Jays.
That's me.
That's literally the truth, though.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, why is everyone like, wow, we never had good pitching. Like, that sucks for us, but I love Pete Walker. No! He's in charge of the pitching! If the pitching's not good, who's to blame?
Yeah, I know.
You know,
I know.
like,
But we never blame Pete Walker.
Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, like, Pete Walker's really great, but, like, wish our pitchers were better. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I feel like, yeah, like, something needs to be done here to get this sorted.
Unless there's I don't know the good elite pitching coaches out there, but if there is one, maybe we consider it. I don't know.
We're
Depends on the
about
season.
to see one because
Yeah,
whoever runs Tampa Bay clearly knows what they're doing.
I know.
Let's finish this off for the live part anyways. We're gonna get into a section here, guys, just with y'all. To do a little bit of games and whatever Q&A. But for this live stream section, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, liking, subscribing. We really appreciate it. Before we sign off, score prediction for tonight's game.
I'm going to say I do think we are going to lose this, to be honest.
Yeah.
Even though I talked a lot of hype, I think we're going to lose 8-3.
That's funny. I was thinking 7-3.
Okay. 8 felt rounder. I don't know why.
Right.
You know? Just felt right.
7-3, Rays are going to kick our ass. I really hope that we're both wrong, though, guys. You come in. If we are wrong, we got 95 people in here right now. If we're wrong, you come back to the stream. You comment that we're stupid. All right? I would love it. I would really love it if you guys do that. But thank you so much for everybody who's rewatching this later, guys. Hit the like, smash the subscribe button. And as always, go Jays, go!